Road to Rock. Change in the House of Flies by Deftones. The world of rock isn't just written with notes, it is forged in moments of chaos that hide secrets no one dares to tell. Some call it legend, others a curse. Turn up the volume. This is Road to Rock, and this is the story of change in the House of Flies. By 2000, Deftones had already earned a reputation for volume and volatility, but they were trying to sharpen their identity. Not heavier for the sake of it. Not softer to chase radio. They wanted control of mood. Change begins like a door cracking open in a dark room. That slow, pulsing guitar figure is Stephen Carpenter doing what he does best: simple shapes, tuned low, made massive by space. It is not a riff that shows off. It is a riff that stalks. Under it, Kai Cheng locks the low end into a steady, almost hypnotic push, and Abe Cunningham plays with restraint tight, clean hits that keep the track breathing instead of exploding too early. And then Chino Moreno comes in, not screaming over the band, but sitting inside the groove, letting the melody carry the thread. That was the pivot. Deftones were learning that intensity did not always mean speed or distortion. Sometimes it meant patience. The song came together during a period when the band was writing with more atmosphere and less flash. Frank Delgado, by then a key part of their sound in the studio and onstage, helped widen the frame with textures and subtle electronics. Those layers are easy to miss because they are not there to be noticed. They are there to make the air feel heavy. Recording-wise, this track is all about contrast, dry, close vocal presence against guitars that feel like they stretch wall to wall. You can hear a deliberate choice to keep the arrangement uncluttered. Verse, chorus, and that winding middle section move like a slow transformation instead of a typical loud quiet loud trick. Even the big moments do not feel triumphant. They feel inevitable. Inside the band, there was a real balancing act happening. Deftones had the pressure of expectation after earlier success, and the wider scene was boxing heavy alternative bands into a narrow lane. Go more aggressive, or get left behind. But change was them refusing to be cornered. Not everyone in a band agrees instantly when the aggression gets dialed back and the focus shifts to melody and mood. That tension, how far to lean into atmosphere without losing impact, is all over this recording, and it is exactly why it works. Listen to how the chorus lifts without turning bright. Carpenter keeps the guitar part blunt and steady, while Chino opens up melodically, almost floating above the track. Abe holds the pocket, never rushing the release. The production keeps the edges clean enough to feel modern, but rough enough to feel human. It is seductive, but not safe. When change hit, it did something concrete for Deftones. It expanded their audience without rewriting their DNA. It became a live centerpiece because it let the crowd sing without draining the room of tension. And for a lot of listeners outside the metal and hard rock pipeline, it was the first time Deftones sounded less like a genre and more like a world. One question still hangs over it: how do you make a song that slow feel that dangerous? Deftones answered by trusting space, trusting texture, and letting the band play like a single organism. Change in the House of Flies was not a detour. It was the moment their darkness learned how to move in silence. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like.